Hi, this is Pastor Phyllis Brantley from the FAILSAFE Jail Ministry. And again, we have a wonderful citizen here that has been incarcerated. She's a returning citizen. We're going to have her tell her story to us today. But I just wanted to welcome Melissa Daniel. Great, wonderful story. Contacted me one day on and I was in awe of your story. So I'm really excited to hear from you, Melissa. But first of all, I just wanted to remind everyone, April is the month that we focus on second chances. Is the United States during April since 2017. It is a nationwide effort to raise awareness of the collateral consequences of a criminal conviction and unlock second chance opportunities for people who have paid their debt to society to becoming contributing citizens. And certainly today, we do have someone that is contributing to society. I am sometimes in awe of what God does in a person's life. I know He did for me, given, I would say more than a second chance. It's so many chances. He's just a God that does not want to let us go. And He stays with us until we finally get it. So today we have Melissa Daniel. And Melissa, I just want to hear from you. First of all, my first question to you is, can you tell us a little bit about your incarceration period, how you knew that you had an opportunity for a second chance, especially, and kind of tell us a little bit about how you went into helping others with your second chance.
Yes, okay, so hello, my name is Melissa. And let me just start by saying I'm kind of nervous, but I'm going to go ahead and do this because I always feel like now I feel like if there's something that the devil doesn't want me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do things different than I used to. So 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I had no teeth in my mouth. I was homeless, jobless. I was didn't have my kids. Now, just going back, I was raised by my grandmother in a good family. Well, not dysfunctional family, but she was good to me. I always tried to be somebody I wasn't. I wanted to be everybody else. I grew up in church. It was a Baptist church, so I didn't understand it though. But I went, I prayed, but I always thought God was mad at me because my grandmother told us that we were going to burn in hell if we did anything wrong. So I love God. I never have, cussed him or anything. I'm not that type of person, but I just thought he was mad, and everything that I did wrong, I would let that guilt and shame eat me up. So 3 years ago, 3.5. So I started going to NA, Narcotics Anonymous, I say in 2007, 8, and my aunt, I started taking some pills, and now 31, I went through a bad divorce, never touched a drug, drink anything in my life. I judged very hard. I was somebody that if you did drugs, I wouldn't speak to you. If you worked at McDonald's, you weren't good enough. Those are the things that how I grew up, I guess. I always tried to conform and be a chameleon to other people. So when I went to, I got locked up several times. There was family issues, but I was out there for a minute. I was doing wrong. I got locked up, and I'm just going to speak of the last time because that was 3.5 years ago. So my mom called the cops on me because I was at her house. I was high, and I was acting erratic. So when I got locked up, I tried to be funny and say I was going to kill myself. So they put me in this green suit at RJ, and it was, I just was scared, but I didn't want to go into the population, but I prayed, and God came to me in that room where I was, they call it turtle soup. And he spoke to me, and I wasn't mad at mama. I wasn't mad at my mom. I wasn't mad at anybody at that point. And I only had to stay 10 days, and I stayed 45 because I felt that I needed to be there. Not out here for a minute. So so when I went in, like I said, I was in medical for like 2 weeks. And then I went into, so you go to ADSEC, which is like before you go to population. Okay. And when I went into ADSEC, I met this girl named Lisa, and she was in there. We both had similarities, like They let her use the phone while I was while we were in the cell, so they brought it to you. And in that conversation, her kids were being taken by social services for the second time while she was on the phone. So I didn't really know what to do. I can relate because my kids were taken not from me but from my mother, so I could relate. And all I knew to do was say, let's pray. And she looked at me, she said, I don't believe in Jesus, I don't believe in God. I said, I don't care what you believe in, you don't have to right now. Let me just pray. And I always doubted myself that I was never good enough, that I could never help anybody because I was always depressed. I mean, I would stay in the bed for days. Not think, just always wanting God's love, but never. I thought that he just wasn't. I don't know, wasn't around, or I don't know what I thought at the time. And so every day that we were in there, I prayed for her every night. I prayed for Miss Lisa, and we would. We would go to. Sorry, when we would go to anywhere like to court, I would always see her, and we were in different pods. So we would talk, we would pray. So when I got out, and when I got out, this is another big point. I made the judge mandate me to get treatment when I got out. So as part of my I guess sentence, because I was trying to get in treatment and couldn't because it was a wait, all these things. So my lawyer, we made him. So I did 3 months at in Arlington at a treatment center. And I met a lot of people there. So I'm a little bit all over the place. I'm nervous. So Lisa, I saw her on Facebook when I got out. So Lisa and I have both stayed clean for 3.5 years now, since the day we were in that cell. We have both come a long way. She is a Christian now. She goes to church all the time. She has, Christian friends now. And she was like, no, she told me, she said, you saved my life. I said, no, I didn't. God did.
Well, let me ask you a question here. I hear you say that you always thought that God was mad at you, but yet you're determined to pray. Not only did you pray for yourself, but you prayed for a friend that was in a similar situation. So how did you have that faith? How did you have that hope that God was going to answer you if you felt like he was mad at you? How did you and not only that, how did you come to the conclusion that God's not mad at you? He does love you. He does have a plan for your life and help you move from where you were to where and what you're doing now.
Okay, so I've like I said, I've always wanted to do right. Like I've always wanted to do what I felt that my grandma taught me to take them. That's how I was raised. But I always, I guess, and I remember her telling me, this is one of the quotes she'd always tell me: pick your head up, no matter what. Don't pray. No matter what, keep praying. No matter what, pray. There's been, and then I heard Joyce Meyer say one time, it doesn't matter if you can't say any elaborate prayers, just say, God help me, please. And for a long time, that's what I did. God help me, please. Please change me. And I started seeing, I started seeing things. I started watching more. I started really learning. I started reading the Bible a lot more. I started it's funny because Joyce Meyer says it. It's okay if you don't understand what you're reading in the Bible at that moment. Just read it. Show God you want to spend some time with him, because when God is ready, he will reveal. And that is so true. Now when I read scripture, I get it.
You get it.
Yeah, but I guess so I guess a big thing for me is, people like you, people like Miss Trudy, listen to those people, because honestly, when you start doing it, I was like, nah, that don't work. When you really start doing some of the things that are suggested to you, and I guess, let me just speak on Miss Trudy really quick. She's been a big part of my life. So I met her back in 2007 as well. And she's also come a long ways. They were living in an apartment, and I would pick her up every day for work. And she told me to go to her church called Strong Tower. It was in a shopping center. I said, I'm not going to that Holy Rolling Church. That was my exact words to her. And she said, okay, all right. And she even told me, she said, do you realize how good of a person you are? You would bring me food or say I got it when I didn't have anything to eat that night for dinner. and I didn't realize it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But so I went to the Holy Roland Church. I went to Strong Tower, and when I walked in, I never did I feel that way my whole life in Baptist church, but I felt
Mm-hmm.
it. I
Mm-hmm.
received it, and I'm like, and I've been going there on and off ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Strong Tower, and different churches. But she has been an encouragement. And I listen to what she tells me to do.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what I hear you saying is that you came out, actually surrounded yourself with positive individuals that poured into you. They actually, what I call speaking life into you, the word of God into you. They led by example. I mean, I know myself, led by example, and kind of showed you a lot of times just by their actions that there is a way to walk through life and leaving a lot of our past behind, because all of us have made mistakes in life and had to suffer the consequences of our action. We pick ourselves up and we continue to go on. So my question to you is that as you surrounded yourself with individuals that were pouring great word into you, like you said, you went to a church, you got to a church that was feeding you some really good wording that applied to your life. You had to get a job. You had to, I see you, a beautiful home. You had to get into a home. You had to have your own transportation. How did you kind of get your life back? You had this record, you had a criminal record. How did you go ahead and get your life back? And then I see you have kids. You have your kids with you. So all of this took place. And in the meantime, I see that you're still helping others, because that was your initial contact with me.
Right. Yeah, Stafford County cops, they knew me. They did not like me. They knew me by name. It was a lot of drama going on. And I felt like even if I didn't do anything, like my mother would always say I did something either way. But so for a while, and I had seen some people that I went to school with, some cops, and they were like, "Oh, you look bad," and so the more I started getting better, the more I started Stafford County. You'd be surprised what happens when God has got His hand on you. I can't really explain it, but I didn't give up. I wanted to give up. And I have in my life, I have a lot of negative people, family members that like to continue to throw my past in my face every day still. And all I do is I give it to God. I know He has a plan for me. And it's happening. Like, so when I just saw a cop the other day in Stafford, and he was like, wow, like you look so different. I mean, I was a mess. And I think too is we're not alone. Like, I always felt alone. I suffer from depression too. And it would be just getting out of the bed. And I feel that God has me, one of my purposes is to touch certain people that some people just thinks are like, whatever, drug addicts, and us, because I hear that, homeless people, man, we're some of the greatest people. And I see when they say when God will turn your addiction or whatever around to your positive, to bless you with. I never understood what, but I think when you get out, you can't be around negative people. You can't be around people using or anything like that. That's only going to get you back out there for real.
I think that's really, really good what you just said right there. A big part of what I'm hearing you say there is that you've got to choose the right people that are going to deposit into you the right things, not the negative things. And because you could end up going back the same direction that you were in before. Yeah,
exactly. And I think for me too,
go ahead.
Helping, like, I know for me, how can I say that? I have rejection issues, abandonment issues. I mean, I struggle with that every day. Men issues. I mean, I'm not an ugly girl, but every guy that I've been with has cheated on me. So now I step back. I had to let that go. And
Mm-hmm.
the relationship, and I didn't want to, but God started revealing and he will, everything that man was doing, it started being revealed to me. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
he was looking at me like I was some kind of like, how do you know this? Because I'd asked the question and I could feel it in my spirit. And I knew I had to let go. And I knew until I let go, I couldn't, God was trying to elevate me, but I couldn't because I wasn't willing to, let go of some things. So I have like 2 months let go of the relationship. So God is really starting to put, people in my life. And, however, the only thing I guess I wish I would have done different in the very beginning is love myself. Not look for love in men and other people, not try to be what other people want me to be, but put God first in my life. And when I'm saying that, I mean, like, sometimes I'll get caught up and I have to stop myself and just pray. And things are just changing for me. Like, I don't know. I like God. All I can say is God, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Amen. So it wasn't the fact that you're a criminal, and correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't the fact that your criminal record hindered you from some of the opportunities, getting a job and those kind of things, did it?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Okay, well,
It did. I'll get it. Yeah. So, I had, I had 3 violation of protection orders.
mm-hmm.
So like certain jobs, babysitting or care.com, I couldn't get on, couldn't work for them.
Mm-hmm.
So for for the past, I want to say 3 years, I really just recovered. I have a sick mother. I take care of her. So really, I mean, I haven't, but I have applied and got rejected several times.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I just put in applications and I just tell the truth. I'm honest with my employers. And I had several offers and interviews right before this coronavirus. And that's another thing. I am very good at sales, and I worked at Malloy Lincoln Mercury in Woodbridge in 2007. And I didn't have my license that were suspended. They are suspended, and that job requires a license. And something told me one day that God told me, just call them and say, hey, look, you can talk to the people I work for. I'm really good at what I do. I can get my license back. But, and he said before he could say anything else, that's fine. But I let it for no more than that. I would not go back there because I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
I was, or everything's so cut and dry for me. If it said it, then there's nothing that can change it. God can change everything. He is a game changer. So,
Amen.
yeah, so
Amen.
so things started changing. When he told me, it really boosted my esteem a lot. When he said, "Come," So I'm after the corona, whenever I'm gonna go back for my interview, and we're gonna continue with that.
Praise God.
And they're gonna help me get my license back. So sometimes it's being honest with or if you don't know for sure, ask somebody. Ask a leader or somebody that's got more experience than you what you should do. Because it's sometimes you just don't know. A lot of times I'm like, okay, is this God trying to tell me? I'm trying to the discernment between the two. Sometimes it's tricky. And I will say this: the devil, and you can ask Miss Trudy this, has fought this girl right here harder than he has fought me. I've asked 2 preachers when I would go up to prayer, when they would call me up, I'd be like, why is he? And they were like, because baby girl, you got a calling on your life that he is about. And the devil does not want him to expose you. And even now I have to, pray, stay prayed up. Because he'll come. He knows exactly which way to come at me. If it's not one thing, it'll be a man. And I have to honestly just continue to pray. But he does. I'm ready for my breakthrough. Like I'm like, here, look, come on, I'm ready. I'm right here. And yeah. So.
Well, I'm so happy to get to know you a little bit better. I was, we clicked right away. We had that little gathering where Miss Eva invited us all together, and we clicked right away. So I'm glad you got in touch with me because I think you've been following some of the things that we're doing with FAILSAFE. And you told me about the young lady that you had prayed for and how she's living her life, a change
Right.
now. And of course,
Mhm.
it's about helping people and changing their lives, helping whatever God gives us to assist them with the change in their life. So I'm looking forward to
Mhm.
when this whole thing is over, we get back in the FAILSAFE office, calling you in, sitting with Miss Juanita so we can have a conversation, because I think you'll bring a lot of what we need to the team.
Okay.
We're steadily having women come in, and then there are some classes too. I think that you would benefit
I
from.
would love
Do
to
have.
take.
I don't know if you know
Yes.
one of my team members, Miss Mildred Thomas, is a part of our FAILSAFE team, and we have developed some classes that I believe some women are going to really, and men are really going to enjoy coming to. It's just more development in the spiritual.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Like
Exactly.
I that to even the women, because until the ladies come in to talk to them, we didn't get, you don't get to see anybody. And I would be so grateful if you guys would come in and preach and talk, and yeah, that would
Amen.
be my
Amen.
highlight of being there.
Exactly. And I've heard that so many times when we go in. Um, the young ladies are looking. I used to ask them, why is it so important for us to come in? And as that word highlight, this is the highlight of our day. We know someone is here speaking truth to us.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us encouragement. It strengthens us because a lot of times when we leave there, they're not going to see someone until the next week, or maybe two or 3 weeks again. And so they need that strength to carry on. So
And I think one more
I'd like to
thing
share.
before, and this is important,
Mhm.
and things aren't always about you. Like God does everything for a reason. And I always thought I was such a bad person until he told me, you have always, since you were young, shared about me.
Mhm.
Never was it that. But I had to take you through some things. So even though, yeah, I got in trouble, whatever, but I wasn't a bad person, like, and I think we think that, like, oh, we're bad. No, sometimes God does things it's not about you. It's about somebody else, maybe. That really held me down for a long time, because I thought, God, who would want to talk to me? I'm so bad. Like, but every time I met somebody, I don't care where I've been, I've always started talking about God. Like, I
Mhm.
always do that. I let them know, you know, and I've been, because I heard one time, I don't care if you're drinking a beer, I don't care if you're getting high, pray. You want to make the devil mad? Pray while you're doing it.
God is a God that will take any decision we make in life, anything that we do. Nothing is a surprise to him. He already knows, and he always has a plan for us to either resist. If we don't resist and we fall into temptation, he has a way of taking everything that was meant for bad and bring good
Right.
to it. And so I'm so happy to have this conversation with you, because you're the living example of that God has taken a lot that has been meant for bad, and he's turned those things around, and he's given you a new life. But not only
Right.
he's given you a new life, but he's also helped you to bring life to him, because when you bring life to other people, you're actually bringing Jesus, and he is the bread of life.
Mm-hmm.
For that. So you think, as if everything's said and done, you think that the groups that are out here supporting and giving services to those that have been incarcerated, like FAILSAFE, I know that there were some other church groups that came in. Do you believe that they really are making a difference?
I feel,
This is
yeah, but
change.
I feel it should be more. I feel they need more, actually.
Oh,
I feel, especially, I feel like they don't have anything, like, I know for when I was there, to prepare you for when you got out, like, like
they've
life.
changed that. They do
Did they?
change. They have
Okay,
ready
so
set. They
see,
have ready
okay,
set release now.
good,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
good, yeah,
have that now. It's
cool,
good. I'm
yeah,
glad you mentioned that, because I may have to do a little speech talk on that, because there are some classes preparing you as you are ready to re-enter.
that's awesome.
And I'm glad you said that. It is very much needed when you come out.
Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, that's really important. The
Yeah.
support, yeah.
Well, so now you have your family all together with you, and how long have you been with them back, all of you all together now?
Actually, right when I got from treatments.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, and it hasn't been a cakewalk, but I've had my, ups and downs. but it's a lot better. And looking, and I have a lot of people that are negative, like I said, so I have to remind them, because God reminds me, it's not, look where you are, look where you were then, and look where you are now.
Yes.
3 years ago, you were homeless. No, I mean, it was bad.
Mhm.
And now I have, my teeth, cut my hair, look
Mhm.
way better. And
Yeah.
I have my family in my life. I have everything. The people that,
Amen.
wouldn't let me stay with, this is important too. The people when I got out wouldn't even let me live with them. They're living with me now because they had no place to go. And I didn't
Mm.
turn my back on them, even though
Mm.
I wanted to. I
Mhm.
didn't. Because I just feel like that's not what God would do. So
Yeah, yeah. It's been really, really, really nice talking to you, Melissa. As I said, I know you and I are going to get together more.
yes.
We have a
You
whole
got to get on the.
plan.
I want to start going to Strong Terror every Sunday when we this Corona stuff.
Did you happen
Yeah,
to look? I sent you the link. Did you?
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Okay,
I
good.
need to get back into going to church regularly. Like I was going with Miss Trudy over to
Mm-hmm.
another one, but yeah,
Okay.
I
Hey,
do.
I'll be back soon. I'm not going to stay in Sandusky forever. I'll be back soon. And as soon as they release us and they open up those church doors, you and I got to join hands and run in there, okay?
Yes, yes, girl.
Okay, look, I love you and I thank you so much. And like I said,
Thank you.
we'll get together and just because there are things that I want to do with you with FAILSAFE, okay?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for the
Look,
opportunity.
okay, God bless you, honey. And thank you for being an inspiration.
I thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.